Hello there. Well, it's a nice sunny day, so I thought I'd show you around my garden. Sounds very boring, but I'm quite eccentric, I think, so you might find my garden quite interesting. Okay, so I'll just pan round. You can get a nice wide shot of the garden. Right next to me is this huge pile of logs. I've been chopping a lot of trees down on my allotment, so I've been collecting the logs and bringing them back here. Quite strenuous, as you can probably imagine, but this should be enough to keep me going for quite a long time. Okay, coming around, we just walk towards these pots over here, ignoring this barrow load of bits of wood, which are going to be chucked on a big pile at the bottom of the garden later on. These blue pots are full of various herbs. Each one's got a different herb in it, and they're in various stages of coming out. The only one that's made any progress are the chives in it there in the middle. And just come over to this pot. This is a very sad sight. This used to be rosemary, but sadly it didn't survive the winter, so I'll have to buy another one. Maybe it's not it's frost tender or something. Frost's probably killed it off. Okay, and just coming up here you can see there's a pile of logs there. That's a habitat pile. It's supposed to shelter animals for the winter. I don't know if there's any in there, but I'm not going to find out in case I disturb them. Probably notice there's a lot of background noise around here. There's aeroplanes flying overhead. There was a chainsaw earlier. Can't hear the chainsaw now. And down the road, I think they're doing something down the road as well. Okay, this is a bridge. This is a wooden bridge I built, obviously. It's over two ponds. This is the main pond. This is quite large. It probably is 3 foot deep at the deep end at the moment. And it's full of newts. And I think it's got dragonfly larvae in there as well. Dragonfly larvae stay underwater for quite a long time, several years in fact. So you only know they come out when you find that they've hatched and left a casing on sort of vertical plants like those reeds over there, not reeds, bulrushes, reed maces I think they're called. Okay, coming round, just down there, that's the small pond. That's also got newts in it. I keep zooming in for some reason. I'll just zoom out again. There we go. Well, there's no sign of the newts today, but they are in there. I've seen them earlier in the year. Okay, we just come a bit over the bridge, coming up to this area of polythene. Underneath the polythene I've sown various salad crops, and you can probably see some areas of green under there. Just go in a bit closer. That area of green, there are a load of radishes. Radishes grow really easily, so it's quite easy to grow them. And that over there is a peppery vegetable called rocket. You probably buy it in the supermarket. That's wild rocket, which is a perennial, and it's unlike the salad rocket you buy in the supermarket, which is not a perennial, it's an annual, which means it dies at the end of the year. And coming over here, oops, there's a big shadow of me in the way. All these stalks are garlic. I sowed those earlier on this year, and on the other side over there there's some onions which I sowed at the same time. They seem to be doing pretty well at the moment, fingers crossed. Right, there's the polytunnel. We'll leave that there for the moment, and we'll just go past it down here. And there's my hedge, which I planted many years ago, donkey's years ago in fact. It's full of hawthorn and other native species. Coming around here, there's a shed at the bottom of the garden there, and that is a greenhouse. You can see that the greenhouse is painted with what looks like white emulsion paint. In fact, it's an actual paint for greenhouses. It's called greenhouse shading, and it stops it getting too hot in there and sort of scorching your seedlings if the sun gets really hot during the day, which has happened to me, which is why I've painted the greenhouse to keep the sun away. Excuse me, you want to clear my throat. Right, coming up to the door. What's in the greenhouse? Okay, here we are, and up there's a load of tomato plants. They look a bit, they're a bit small at the moment, but they usually do pretty well. Coming around here, down here, there's a load more tomato plants. The reason there's so many is because there are different types of tomatoes, different not species, that's what's the word, varieties. So there's sort of small ones, big ones, juicy ones, ones for salad, etc, etc. So okay, you can see there's lots of other green things in here. We'll just go over here. Okay, these ones, these are red cabbages. You might be able to see they've got the green leaves have got red veins in them. Okay, red cabbages are pretty easy to grow, providing the slugs and the birds don't get them, which hopefully they won't. I did pretty well last year. And coming across, okay, this is this sort of bright green vegetable. This is another cabbagey crop. This is called turnip broccoli. Never grown this before, mainly because it's only just been invented, I think. Some bloke crossed two cabbage crops and came up with that. It's supposed to be recommended, so we'll see what happens. Okay, that's in that little pot there, that's dill. I tried to grow lots of dill because dill's quite useful in pickling. Quite an acquired taste as well, I think. Okay, past more tomato plants. Down there, all those little seedlings there, they're celeriac. Celeriac's a sort of large celery flavoured turnip, if you like. You see it in the greengrocer, so it doesn't look very inspiring, but celeriac mash is quite a good way of eating it. Okay, there's some more celeriac seedlings. They were sown later, which is why they're a lot smaller. I always sow too many of everything in case of failures. I've already had some failures. Okay, there's some more dill, and that's just about it in the greenhouse. So we'll go out again. Coming around here. Oh, I didn't point out that object there. That's an incinerator. I haven't actually used it yet. So it's used for burning stuff, obviously. Bonfires are a bit of a no-no now, I think, but people still have them.